The full text is updated only once. The captivating story begins here. My fiancee's ex-boyfriend stared at me. He asked if I weren't in the picture. Could we get back together? She simply answered with one word, yes. Everyone present was stunned. All eyes turned to me in unison. They all thought I'd be furious enough to flip the table. But unexpectedly, I didn't care at all. I even picked up the red thread and said, let's do it this way. We haven't registered the marriage anyway. It'll make it happen for you too. A week ago, James TRAN returned to the country. My fiancée Wendy Wong went to pick him up herself. My father was diagnosed with coronary heart disease, needing bypass surgery. I lost control and shouted into the phone that she didn't understand the gravity of the situation. Yet she turned around and accused me of picking a fight for no reason. The disappointment and blame in her voice were undisguised. After hanging up, she blocked me. In that moment, I felt like I no longer recognized her. This was the first time Wendy Wong and I had a Cold War. Before, whenever we argued, I'd immediately take the blame, afraid of upsetting her. But this time when she blocked me, I unexpectedly felt calm. Until 3 days later, my mother called, saying that Wendy Wong had been crying. I knew she was using my mom to coax me. It was always like this. Wendy Wong would never apologize first. She always had countless ways to make me yield. Just invite her to barbecue or hot pot. If that didn't work, she'd cry in front of my parents, waiting for me to soften and give in. She'd then smugly ask if I knew what I did wrong. At night, she'd tease me like a lazy little kitten, ending with me surrendering. From the moment I started pursuing her, it was this kind of relationship. I gave everything, so I couldn't expect Wendy Wong to reciprocate reasonably. When I was with her, I got used to hurting myself, careful, submissive, and to please her, guessing her thoughts, as if I couldn't breathe without her. But yesterday she bluntly said, look, I haven't even blamed you, yet you're making a big deal out of it. That sentence suddenly gave me an unprecedented sense of imbalance. Wendy Wong, she didn't understand how terrified I was that day outside the operating room, and how helpless, even though I'm a man, but am also someone's son, how I longed for her to be by my side to lean on. Yet what I got was her criticism and indifference. A while later, she sent a message, hey honey, do you remember what tomorrow is? Our 3rd engagement anniversary. How could I forget? Every time I painstakingly prepared the finest wines. But Wendy Wong always found it not romantic enough, because I only knew how to buy the best wine, gift cosmetics, gift jewelry, gift handbags. My way of giving gifts could never compare to a timely social media post from James TRAN. That post, when Wendy Wong saw I didn't reply, she thought I'd forgotten. She sulked and said, fine, stay home obediently and wait for me to make it up to you. I only replied with one word, okay. I put down the phone and continued reading the lawyer's letter. If it were before, I'd have been thrilled to jump up, but this time my heart didn't stir at all. After work, Wendy Wong reminded me to buy wine and candles and wait obediently for her. She sent the message at 6 p.m., but by midnight she still wasn't home. During that time, worried something had happened to her. I called several times, but no one answered. Finally, unable to hold back, I opened WeChat, planning to ask her best friend. Then I saw James TRAN's status update, lifetime soulmate, visible only to me, accompanied by a photo of a watch, the one I wanted for a long time. Seeing that photo, I only felt something in my heart shatter, then slowly rebuild and heal, finally becoming calm. In that moment, I suddenly felt relieved. In her heart, James TRAN was always more important than me. But strangely, I no longer cared as much. In the middle of the night, I heard the door open and footsteps slowly approaching the bed. A familiar scent wafted toward me. Wendy Wong hugged me, but as her lips were about to touch mine, I instinctively turned my head away. This unconscious action stunned both me and her. It also kept me awake all night. Perhaps to avoid the awkwardness, Wendy Wong bolted into the bathroom, but she forgot her phone. Its screen flashing with a message. Are you home yet? Wendy Wong, I can't let him go. I can't let him go. Wendy Wong didn't reply. I scrolled up. They chatted every day. I didn't care. The phone kept buzzing, annoying me to no end. After picking it up, I threw it in a perfect arc toward the sofa. Before, their endless chats drove me mad with jealousy. But as soon as I complained a bit, Wendy Wong would immediately put on a face that rejected others from miles away. She thought I was childish boring, said that as her fiancé I didn't respect her. Yet as my fiancé, she didn't understand boundaries. Gradually, I didn't want to say another word. A few minutes later, Wendy Wong came out after changing. Seeing her phone on the sofa, she froze. "Did you touch my phone?" I yawned. "What time is it?" Wendy Wong took the wine from the bedside cabinet. "There's nothing between me and him." I nodded. After falling into a deep sleep, I no longer heard her vague explanations. Finally, after a sigh, the world became quiet. I would never yell again, nor emphasize principles and boundaries in love, because it was pointless. Wendy Wong silently erased the things I valued, even my breakdowns. In her eyes were just a joke. I was too tired of waiting. I had given too much. The balance was in deficit. The thread was nearly broken, so I chose to turn my back. The next morning when I woke up, I realized Wendy Wong had gone to work without me noticing. Seeing me come out, she pointed to a suit on the side. "James Tran gave it to you." I picked it up and looked, then burst out with a mocking laugh. The color and style aside, even the size was wrong. "Why did you take something meant for James Tran and give it to me?" I put on my shoes ready to leave. Wendy Wong blocked me, saying it's not what you think. He broke up, got drunk at the bar. I took him to the hotel and he vomited all over me. I interrupted her. "Oh really? So with dirty clothes you bought a suit for him? To comfort him you gave him a watch too, then waited for him to sober up. So he had the energy to post that disgusting status to provoke me. Then you came home." Wendy Wong, do you have to talk so harshly? A flicker of hurt passed through her eyes. Then how do you want me to talk? I looked at Wendy Wong with full sarcasm. She couldn't say a word under that innocent expression, as if all the blame was on me. This time Wendy Wong was truly angry, living under the same roof but in separate rooms. The only thing connecting us was a cat. We adopted it together, named Happy. That day I clumsily confessed, "Let's take care of it together." Her eyes were gentle, her lips curved into a smile, and she nodded to accept my confession. Since then I took care of feeding and cleaning. But these past few days, Wendy Wong came home very late, so I kept Happy in my room. The little guy was inexplicably sad. At this time, it was used to lying on Wendy Wong's desk making a mess. It couldn't speak, but I understood that unspoken grievance. Surprisingly, James Tran messaged me, "I can return the watch to you." Why does a man have to be so petty? I didn't bother replying. I have a cleanliness obsession. What's mine if touched by others feels dirty? James Tran sent another message. That day was when I was at my lowest, mocked by a group for a failed marriage. Don't blame Wendy Wong. I stayed silent for a while, then decided to use sharp words. "So are all your friends and family dead? To keep clinging to my fiancé like that?" A while later, Wendy Wong stormed out from the living room. "Are you crazy? Why did you talk to James Tran like that? Let's break up." The last time Wendy Wong said break up, it was because I accidentally broke a crystal glass James Tran gave her. After she scolded me, I couldn't hold back and comforted her. "I'll replace it with an identical one." She hugged me. "Do you know what that glass meant to me?" Then she sent two words, "break up." I frantically begged her over the phone. So upset I cried, unable to speak. She was silent for a while, then suddenly said, "You're a man crying like that." I immediately stopped, automatically filling in the words she didn't say. Fake useless. I froze for 2 seconds, then said fine. The moment I hung up, it felt like a truckload of cement poured into my heart, then quickly hardened. In the matter of James Tran, Wendy Wong was always sensitive, like a forbidden zone and touchable. But what could I do? Now I didn't care anymore, just questioning what I was. Why force myself to fit a standard I could never reach? So even if Wendy Wong posted on Weibo to provoke me, I still felt clear skies. She helped him fix his computer reserved parking spots. even bought identical shoes on Taobao. She helped him carry an umbrella, pick up deliveries, and edited errors in his documents. Even when Wendy Wong went to big cities to collect data for her company's new project, we didn't contact each other for 4 or 5 days. They still messaged every day, chatting happily. I could feel it myself. No matter how deep my feelings for Wendy Wong were, they were gradually drained by her coldness, until someone couldn't take it anymore. Our mutual friend Lily Lee threw a party. I was never late, but this time I was half an hour late. James Tran looked at me displeased. Michael Lee, you're really playing big. I glanced at him. Clearly had been late countless times. But if I asked one more question, Wendy Wong would nervously explain for him. James Tran's jet lag is normal. I gave a short laugh and said, yeah. This meal's on me. We split into 2 tables. Very tactfully, I sat with Lily Lee. Wendy Wong and James Tran sat opposite. I ordered a Koju beef hot pot. James Tran likes it. Wendy Wong added no cilantro. I remembered the first time the 3 of us had hot pot. Because Wendy Wong loved cilantro, I deliberately added a lot. She slightly frowned, glanced at me, and only asked the waiter for a new hot pot. James Tran laughed smugly there. Michael Lee, see how thoughtful Wendy Wong is. When you like someone, you always remember everything about them, including their eating habits. Under James Tran's provocative gaze, I clenched my fist. Though Wendy Wong said ignorance is no crime, from then on I never ate Koju hot pot again. Lily Lee beside me laughed. Do all you guys dislike cilantro? Wendy Wong looked at me surprised. I think she realized then why whenever we ate yin yang hot pot together, she could skip cilantro for James Tran, while I ate spicy hot pot just for her. Wendy Wong was never a thoughtful person. It's just that the person she was thoughtful for was him. This thought I'd suppressed for so long. I didn't understand why every word, every action of James Tran felt like a stab to my heart, while he acted innocent. Like this time after eating and drinking, Lily Lee told me and Wendy Wong to go home together. But James Tran insisted on playing truth or dare. When the wine bottle spun and stopped at him, he asked Wendy Wong with a vengeful attitude, if you weren't engaged now, could we get back together? That possessive demeanor. Everyone was shocked, but I wasn't. Well, the one question slowly nodded. Lily Lee, afraid I'd lose my temper, instinctively grabbed my sleeve. But I laughed. Then let's do this. Since we haven't registered the marriage, I'll generously make it happen for you too. The party ended unhappily, not because of me, but because 2 men at the other table couldn't hold back. One stood up and scolded James Tran, using friendship as an excuse to do things lovers do. Wendy Wong hadn't even paled yet. James Tran hadn't even justified himself. The other stood up. From now on, don't invite me to parties like this. Don't talk to me about soulmates. It's just emotional cheating. I smiled without saying a word. Those exact words I'd said countless times. But every time James Tran hadn't spoken, Wendy Wong jumped to defend him. Each time I felt pain and loneliness. Now, it's not that I don't hurt anymore, but the stabs in my heart had long scarred over. This gathering Lily Lee's help ultimately became futile. I went left to catch the subway. They went right to drive. No one looked back. At the entire party, I was the most out of place. A faint rainbow suddenly flashed through my heart. That feeling was like something I couldn't bear to discard. Stored away. It existed once, never perfect, but never to appear again. I reached the station, slowly walked home. The cold wind blew gently. A leaf fell from a branch, its path natural and resolute, a sign of parting. Wendy Wong seemed to have reached the point of letting him go. I was thinking how to start the conversation, but when I opened the door, I saw her sitting silently in the room. Wendy Wong rarely spoke first these days. I wasn't home. You seemed very happy. Yeah, you're busy and busy. She seemed to be picking a fight, but I didn't want to say much. It was James Tran who insisted on coming. I felt puzzled, then suddenly realized she was explaining. Before, whenever she and James Tran were together, I'd be restless. But now, I no longer cared. Yet it's only natural. He's your soulmate. I replied carelessly to brush it off, but she still hesitated. If it were before, her demeanor would have made me anxious. I'd have to get to the bottom of it. But now I wasn't moved at all. Finally, Wendy Wong mustered the courage to say, "I have something to discuss with you. Speak." I tried to look not too impatient. She bit her lip. James Tran is my best friend. After returning, he sent out many job applications, but staying in a hotel forever isn't good. I immediately understood she wanted James Tran to move in. Just as I was thinking how to refuse, James Tran arrived with bags big and small, knocking on the door. My blood pressure shot up. It was already decided. Why pretend to discuss it with me? I turned to go inside, as long as it doesn't invade my personal space. I didn't want to end things too badly, but Wendy Wong pulled me back and said, "James Tran is allergic to cat fur." I looked up, not understanding what that meant. Wendy Wong hesitated, her tone firm. "Take Happy out to stay somewhere for a few days." The atmosphere instantly became deathly tense. I burst out laughing. So the saying, "so angry you laugh," is real. Michael Lee, don't misunderstand. James Tran started unpacking his suitcase. "I know I've been troubling you too lately. It's my fault. Once I find a job, I'll leave." His host attitude made me want to slap him. "Get out." Those 3 words left them both stunned. Wendy Wong spoke first. "Michael Lee, if already compromised." She looked at my expression, saw it wasn't good, so she lowered her voice. "Fine, just a few days." I didn't hold back and crushed her delusion. "This is our marital home. I think I have veto power." Wendy Wong was silent for a long time. Finally, her face turned cold, glaring at me. "Fine. It's not like there's only one house. Don't get jealous later." She took James Tran's hand and left. I watched their backs disappear, trying to recall my jealous expression, until the door slammed shut. I remembered the last time was when I left. They went to karaoke, singing love songs together. Their flirtatious glances caught by me nearly causing a fight. After arguing, Wendy Wong ignored me, and James Tran's smirk made me even angrier. Now they stormed off in a huff. To me, it was a relief. The understanding of this tangled past relationship was a sincere confession from the depths of my heart. I sent her a message, "End it peacefully." A red exclamation mark appeared. I had blocked her before, added her back, then blocked again. Just as I was about to call, I got a call from Wendy Wang's father. I braced myself for a torrent of scolding, but he anxiously said his wife went for a checkup. A uterine tumor wasn't good. When I rushed to the hospital, Wendy Wong was crying like a storm. Seeing me, she immediately threw herself into my arms. I paused for a moment, then held her shoulders. "It's okay. I'm here, don't be afraid." I used my connections at the law firm to find the best specialist for a consultation and performed the surgery immediately. The operation was more successful than expected. Only during that time, James Tran was very displeased. He sent several messages, first complaining about job hunting, then inviting Wendy Wong to eat. Finally, when he learned the tumor was benign, he suggested hiring a private nurse. Wendy Wong shouted over the phone, "My mom needs surgery. Do you know that?" When I signed the surgery consent form, my whole body felt frozen. I looked at her stunned. This was an attitude Wendy Wong never had with James Tran. "Do you know?" I cried from start to finish outside the operating room. The moment she looked up, seeing me not far away, she seemed to realize something. "Michael Lee, I think I know I was wrong. I'd waited for those 2 words for so long, but the apology I once longed for had long been blurred by constant suppression. I once had some illusions that Wendy Wong, after waking up, would mend this relationship. But during a week off to care for Wendy Wang's mother, I took the chance to extract a ninny-year-old wisdom tooth. After half an hour with pliers, a hammer, and a drill, until I felt reborn. It had grown wildly in my mouth. I endured the pain, endured it pressing on my healthy teeth, until one day I decided enough. I was fed up, whether she was good or bad, whether Wendy Wong knew she was wrong or not. I felt I'd had enough, it no longer mattered. A week later, her mother was discharged. At my insistence, she stayed at our marital home for a few days, watching me bustle about. She choked up, said if Wendy Wong married me, She'd be at ease. My heart stirred a little. So I stayed elsewhere for a few days. Because the cat wasn't good for her health. She laughed and said, "What's the big deal? I don't mind. You know, your father is also allergic to cat fur. But I still make him take medicine. The treasure you to love can't be treated unfairly just because I'm here." Wendy Wong stood nearby, mouth agape, finally lowering her head without a word. When I returned to pack, Wendy Wong insisted on following, but I ignored her. After packing my clothes and putting Happy in a carrier, I was about to open the door and leave. Wendy Wong stared at me, maintaining that pride don't make a fuss, okay? I instinctively tried to push her away. She blocked the door, as if wanting an answer from me. I used all my strength, but she clung tightly, refusing to let go. As if she'd been wronged for so long, she rushed at me, pounding me frantically. When I grabbed her hands to calm her down, I froze. On her ring finger was a silver ring. I'd given her many rings. Gold, diamond, jade, but never this one. I wouldn't give something like that. I remember telling Wendy Wong the ring finger could only wear my ring. I suddenly felt ridiculous. Regaining my composure, I said, "Move." Wendy Wong realized something, quickly pulled her hand back. Her voice panicked. "James Tran said hospitals have bad energy. Told me to wear this to ward off evil." I opened my phone and shoved the screen in her face, because I knew this was another of James Tran's vile tricks. He loved the feeling of seeing me angry but unable to speak. Time after time, he enjoyed it. I wasn't angry. On social media, James Tran's ring finger had an identical ring to Wendy Wang's. Wendy Wong was silent. After a while, she said, "A silver ring doesn't mean anything." I didn't want to waste another second with her, pushed her aside and left calmly. We returned to a mode of not disturbing each other. During this time, I poured myself into work. Because of that dedication, my boss promoted me to partner. It coincided with my birthday. Double joy! I suggested booking an entire restaurant for a party. After choosing the venue, my phone buzzed. Somehow, Wendy Wong had added me back. This morning my mom went home. "Thank you for the gift." I thought for a moment, then replied, "No problem. I was too busy to give it. Apologize to your parents for me." A while later, she called for your birthday. "I bought some things you like most. Bring Happy back." "No need, my colleagues are throwing me a birthday party. Can I come along?" she asked cautiously. I answered firmly, "Inconvenient. No one's bringing family." Every time she went to a party, I was like a dog just wanting to cling to her. After a few times, Wendy Wong frowned and told me, "Don't follow unless I call you. Best friends have secrets." I asked then, "Why can James Tran?" Wendy Wong scoffed, "He's my soulmate. Can you compare?" This dinner invitation led to a new discovery. By the end, everyone was having fun. A team member patted my shoulder and said, "Michael Lee, you know, behind your back we always said you're great in every way, just not sociable." I didn't understand. A girl nearby explained, said I went home right after work, didn't join gatherings. Though if someone had work troubles, I do my best to help. But they still felt I was cold and distant. "Didn't expect you to be so approachable." I burst out laughing. Before, I was afraid Wendy Wong would be lonely at home. Now, why be so self-absorbed? She has her best friend. I can have my brothers too. After eating, the group invited me to a sauna, massage, and karaoke. Wendy Wong called several times. Finally, I set my phone to do not disturb. I once offered to pick her up, worried about her safety at night, but she laughed gleefully over the phone. "If got a group escorting me, no need to make a fuss." Around 11 p.m. the party ended. Wendy Wong said she was waiting for me in the sauna's lobby. My colleague had sent her the location. "You're not drunk, are you?" She saw my flushed face and approached to support me. "I'm fine, just some wine, you blush from fruit juice too." She drove over and insisted I not take the subway. On the way, she softly said, "So this is what waiting for someone feels like." I sneered, pretending not to hear. When we reached my rented place, she probed, "Can I come up?" I frowned, pretending to be drunk. "No need, my place is tiny. Only fits me and Happy when I'm not home." You can ask James Tran if he's found a job yet, and let him stay a few days. Wendy Wong was very embarrassed, but this time she didn't budge. Her eyes seemed to shimmer. "I'm drunk," I sneered. Words slip out when drunk, but from then on she started to change. I never expected a clingy guy like me would have a comeback. After my lease ended, I had to return. She cared for me unexpectedly, cooked for me, waited for me to come home, even canceled weekend friend gatherings. I was a bit surprised, but felt uneasy all over. I told her, "You don't have to do this. I got promoted. My hours aren't fixed. Even weekends I have to work overtime." She said, "It's okay. Just text me." And she started researching nourishing soups. When she placed a bowl of pepper chicken soup in front of me, I was surprised to find it tasted as good as a restaurant's. So last time nearly blowing up the kitchen, what was that for? Was it because she was busy chatting with James Tran and didn't care? Or because she never cared about me? I couldn't help but sigh that Wendy Wong tried hard. But for some reason, my taste buds couldn't taste happiness. Not just my taste. All 5 senses had issues. I used to love clinging to her every night. Used to worrying anxiously about her. Used to carefully please her. Looking at her face suddenly felt so unfamiliar. Even when she deliberately wore provocative clothes. Oddly, I had no physical reaction. Every gesture suddenly felt repulsive. Repulsive to the point of nausea. Turns out sometimes when you stop loving, you don't even realize, but your body knows. A tear rolled down Wendy Wong's cheek. I didn't feel heartache. Instead, I was terrified. In a moment of reluctance, I didn't refuse to let her sleep beside me, but I chose to turn on the light and work. At midnight, James Tran called, rang once and hung up. I suddenly felt relieved. Couldn't stay another second. At 4 a.m., I slept on the sofa. In the room Wendy Wong was sobbing. I immediately dressed, opened my phone, searched for hotel information. Even without a single room, I spent $500,000 for a double. The moment I closed the door, I suddenly felt light. The stars twinkled. Slamming the door wasn't really about leaving. Calmly closing it was truly not wanting to return. The next few days, Wendy Wong acted as if nothing happened. Checked on me even more. Asked about my work. Asked about trivial things. Even topics she used to find annoying, like tennis, like models, like the movie script I wrote. Wendy Wong like this made me even more tired. I started working overtime, even slept at the law firm for 15 years. Actually, I really wanted to tell Wendy Wong, "You don't have to do this. I really want to stay away from you." No one leaves you on a whim. The tears of pain, helplessness, and endurance time after time, you never saw. Like a crack, gradually widening under the dam from erosion. What you saw was only the moment I collapsed. The next month, I deliberately staggered my time with Wendy Wong. She looked for me many times, blocked me at the company gate, her tone humble, her attitude sincere. Though I acted distant, though I tactfully told her, "We need some time apart." Though we both knew the feelings couldn't return, I couldn't go back either. We're done. But she didn't dare face it. From the start, she knew the consequences she might bear. Wendy Wong rejected me. Didn't care that she didn't love me. Whenever free, she'd wait for me. Today, I invited some colleagues. Brought spicy hot pot for me. He looked out the window, it's raining hard. "Your fiancée is waiting downstairs, call her up." I said I don't dare. My heart pounded. I grabbed an umbrella and rushed out. The rain was heavy. Wendy Wong was soaked like a wilted flower. Drenched, I pulled her into the company. Under the guard's strange gaze, I wiped her face with a towel. Wendy Wong was overjoyed. "Michael Lee, you still care about me." I saw the triumphant excitement in her eyes. Suddenly stopped. My hand slowed. "Go home." Wendy Wong froze. Trembling, she said, "The thing with James Tran was my mistake. There's really nothing between us." Hearing that name, I felt humiliated. I threw the towel at her. "I don't want to hear your explanations. If you want to torture yourself, go ahead." She didn't expect me to be so ruthless. Her face turned cold. "What do I have to do for you to forgive me? We're engaged. Is such a small thing worth blowing up?" I looked at her, stunned. "Small thing? At this point, she still thought it was a small thing, still thought I was the one making a fuss, and she was the one compromising. Wendy Wong realized what she said, hurriedly apologized. "I'm sorry. I just don't understand. There's nothing between me and him. Why make it irreparable?" Saying that, confusion appeared on her face. Maybe she truly didn't understand. She had lowered herself so much. Yet why was I determined to distance myself? But had she ever thought, I don't have opposite T-sex friends? Don't I have brothers inviting me to hang out? Don't I have moments of pain and helplessness? Don't I want to relax and have someone care for me? But every gathering of mine had 3 people. I wouldn't eat with girls. I wouldn't forget a man's family duty for a party. Even when my computer broke, I didn't get close. I'm a taken man. But what did I get? Wendy Wong's repeated blame. Waiting for someone in the rain, I'd done that too. Caught a cold, got a tooth infection. My gums swelled so much I couldn't drink water. In the hospital hallway, everyone had company. I called wanting Wendy Wong by my side. She unhappily said, "I told you not to worry. I told you to give each other space. I told you to extract that tooth early. You kept enduring until it got infected. Serves you right." I wanted to beg her. That softness felt like a favor. But James Tran's voice was there, hugging Wendy Wong. "Why aren't you moving? You scared me to death." My hand couldn't hold the phone, it broke the screen. I was sick, but she was busy advising others. Though the scar healed and I forgot her, that betrayal lingered. This was also why I firmly stopped playing League. The arrows Wendy Wong aimed at me ultimately rebounded on her because she called me cruel. I sent her the photo of our 3-year engagement watch, and the status James Tran showed only to me. What did he mean by posting that? Though they both later explained to me. Why did James Tran, after getting drunk, deliberately post that photo to target me? Finally, I weakly asked Wendy Wong, "You went to such lengths to please me, but do you know I hate soup the most? Let's talk once." She was silent for a long time and disappeared into the rain. I resolved to go home and talk frankly with her, to make the best decision for both. I believed Wendy Wong was waiting for me at home, but when I opened the door, no one was there. The next noon, I got a call from James Tran. He said Wendy Wong vomited blood, was in emergency care. I rushed over. She lay on the bed breathing faintly, so haggard I'd never seen her like this. "Michael Lee, why are you here? I'm sorry for making you worrying." Wendy Wong's words rare carried humility. "Get out." James Tran's voice came from behind. He punched me. "How could you treat Wendy Wong like this? Do you know she was soaked yesterday? Crying and drinking 3 bottles of wine." I stood up, wiped the blood from my lip, and looked at Wendy Wong. "You'd rather destroy yourself than talk to me once. Why keep avoiding? Wait until I'm better, okay?" Her pleading eyes made me uncomfortable. "Fine." I stood up to leave. "Michael Lee, can't you stay with me?" Wendy Wong's voice sounded so desolate. I felt I should stay, but the eyes of the man behind me were like a sharp blade, wanting to kill me. Without him, she wouldn't die. Why keep a man like that? James Tran ordered me. I froze. So in his eyes, I was always the extra one. After recovering, Wendy Wong didn't come home. She texted me saying the doctor told her not to get agitated. James Tran's punch was strong. As I iced my face with an egg, I realized had changed. Like my love for Wendy Wong. Was I overreacting? One evening in my junior year, the classroom was lively. I finished a design for Wendy Wong. Couldn't resist poking her back and asked if she wanted to date. She was stunned. I spoke quickly. "Softly, I'm serious about dating you." I still can't forget her expression then. Surprised, shy, and sweet. I also can't forget. After graduation, I moved to her city for her, overcoming countless obstacles. She collapsed on my shoulder sobbing. And that New Year's Eve after exams, I hid from her and went to her place. When fireworks went off, I ran out, holding a cat shed loved for ages, and very seriously asked, "When work stabilizes, let's get married." We went house hunting together. The agent asked what kind of house she liked. She leaned into me, "Don't ask me. My man decides everything." She was always good to me, as long as James Tran didn't appear. My mom said she didn't do anything wrong. So many years of feelings. You two rarely fought. Just because she talked to some guys. Ate a few meals, it fell apart. Can you bear it? I just didn't understand. Everything was moving smoothly and happily. Just keep going forward. But why was she obsessed with James Tran? That year she looked at me so seriously. In the noisy classroom, we stared at each other. She nodded as if possessed. Then I smiled lightly, spinning my pen, tilting my chin, smugly telling her, next time don't hesitate to ask about homework. You can ask your boyfriend anytime. I really wanted to go back to that moment. Wendy Wong texted, your gaze at me no longer sparkles. He was once full of light, yet in one moment, suddenly became dim, a speck of dust in the universe. I tried to recall his radiant self, but couldn't. Later I realized, that was the light in my eyes when I first met her. Sobbing, I asked her, you can't let go of that bright moon. But I don't want to be a beauty mark. I was always calm, never shed a tear in front of her, never showed any weakness or reluctance. I always thought I handled the process of controlling emotions and breaking up well, very rational. But when I smoked all night, I realized how much I cared for Wendy Wong. The moment she abandoned me, her hesitation, from disappointment to arguments, from distance to giving up. Finally, it was a breakup. Some roads once taken have no return, though I still loved her. I knew we couldn't be together. When it was time for my dad's checkup, Wendy Wong still didn't want to face me. After the checkup, my mom asked, you and Wendy Wong aren't young anymore. Get married. I thought for a moment, then honestly replied, Mom, maybe we're fated but not destined. My mom couldn't bear it, sighed Mom. Hopes you'll be happier. Care for, don't lose yourself. My tears streamed down. I took leave to travel with my parents for 3 days. When parting, I posted a family photo on social media. Wendy Wong called. Did your parents come? Why didn't you tell me? And aren't I afraid your parents will urge marriage if they see me? My parents really liked Wendy Wong. Sincerely. About dowry, car, house, even kids. They were very relaxed. They just thought registering the marriage would bring peace of mind. But Wendy Wong said, once registered, it's like being tied down. Then wanting to focus on her career. She'd surely be annoyed by my parents' questions. From then on, I never mentioned it again. I firmly told her, wait for me at home. No more delays. As I opened the door, Wendy Wong suddenly pulled out the household registry. Michael Lee, let's register. I froze for a moment. She continued, if thought it over, I can lose everything, but I can't lose you. This action was beyond my expectations. Gradually, I grew tired, like when my father was diagnosed with heart disease. I held the registry and proposed to Wendy Wong, but she said I was just putting on a show. Maybe then I lost all hope, just waiting for the final straw to crush me. Michael Lee, will you agree? Wendy Wong asked weakly. I want. When I said those 3 words, my heart ached, but I had no regrets. Wendy Wong stood before me disappointed, but not devastated enough to probe. She clung to the sofa trying to ask, was it because I didn't say anything the day your dad had surgery? She asked again, was it because I gave James Tran a watch? I stayed silent. Finally, she asked, or do you feel I never cared about you? Not even knowing you don't like cilantro. I sighed. Wendy Wong, you understand all this. I can understand what James Tran means to you. Unrequited love. You need time to let it fade. But you can't ignore me every time he appears. You indulged your feelings for him, even tacitly agreed. Love is a one-way street. I was devoted, I sacrificed. I was always sincere. You shouldn't treat me like a dog. But now I know I was wrong. I really only love you. Wendy Wong cried helplessly, no, you don't love me. Before, when I fell off my bike, just a small scratch. When I thought of you, the pain grew worse. The grievance in my heart grew bigger. Pretending so you'd see. Wanting you to comfort me. Even if you scolded me, I'd feel happy. But you always coldly pushed me away. You thought men don't comfort. You felt my joys and sorrows. But you were afraid James Tran would see. Did you want to prove to him how great you are? Or show him I chased you relentlessly? To move him? Or were you preparing to play both sides? Wendy Wong couldn't speak, just shook her head frantically, seeing her speechless. I finally understood. Not loving never comes without signs. It's not suddenly not loving, but disappointment piling up bit by bit. When it piles up too much, you can't love anymore. There was a knock at the door. I looked through the peephole. It was James Tran. I told Wendy Wong, "Hide in the room." You say you don't love James Tran. Let's prove it. Does James Tran like you? James Tran came in and looked around. Where's Wendy Wong? I smirked. Not here. She blocked me. I went to her company. She avoided me. Why so sudden? James Tran asked urgently. Later I saw her at her best friend's place. She told me she has a fiancé and told me to know my limits. But didn't you to break up at the hospital? For the first time I saw him defeated before me. Wendy Wong was never like this. So proud. Yet after you hung up, she cried nonstop. James Tran gave a bitter smile. So she really loves me. Suddenly he looked straight at me. Did you accept her proposal? I met his gaze. The anxiety and probing in his eyes were clear. He came today, clearly afraid. Wendy Wong and I reconciled. Clearly not giving up. You love her too. I couldn't help but ask back. James Tran paused for a long time, looked up with a smile. Yes. Only later did I realize the one I love most is her. Do you know why your proposal with the registry didn't work? Wendy Wong asked my opinion, but I just divorced. How could I pass up this chance to sabotage? I burst out laughing, hugged the cat and grabbed the suitcase I'd prepared, and said, staying here so long, you're not allergic to cat fur. So I hope you can take good care of Wendy Wong, as long as you can win her. The moment I closed the door, a wretched scream came from behind. I don't want to see you for the rest of my life. I picked up my phone, changed Wendy Wong's nickname from darling wife back to her full name. We can't grow old together. Then let's forget each other. From now on we go our separate ways. Live joyful lives. But I thought to simply, ending peacefully was just my wish. I shouldn't have forgotten. Wendy Wong is stubborn. Back then she couldn't forget James Tran. Now it's the same with me. To her, being abandoned by a clinger is a huge humiliation. Though I proved James Tran had bad intentions, she still kept texting me. Caught off guard, I chose to turn off my phone, planning to find a moment to reclaim the marital home. But seeing Wendy Wong's attitude, she clearly wanted to keep struggling. I thought for a moment, then decided to rent a hotel temporarily. After showering, I opened my laptop to do two things at once. If Wendy Wong really made things difficult, I'd sell the house. But as soon as I turned on my phone, Wendy Wong's call came. Michael Lee, I'm asking you one last time. Is there really no chance to salvage us? I didn't hesitate. Yes, that's right. Fine, you'll regret it. At first I didn't understand what she meant. I felt I hadn't wronged her. So why regret? But 3 days later, I returned to discuss the house. But no matter what I said, Wendy Wong acted indifferent. Kept playing with her phone, not even looking up. I shook my head helplessly, thinking of some clothes I hadn't taken. I went into the bedroom. But the moment I opened the door, I was so shocked I couldn't speak. The messy bed was one thing. The key was in the trash. There was a wiped pair of underwear with stains. I took a deep breath and smelled a strange chrysanthemum scent on the bed. The chrysanthemum smell lingered in the air, not yet dissipated. Clearly the remnant of last night's passion. In that moment my heart stopped. Before it was just disappointment, thinking Wendy Wong was a stone I couldn't warm. But I never thought one day she'd make me disgusted. A fine woman chose to throw herself into a cesspool. I recalled last night. She called me over 10 times, but I didn't answer. Was it just for this? She chose this way to spite me. Unimaginable. I remembered the moment I walked in. Wendy Wong's first glance had a hint of gloating. So that's how it was. I calmed down. Instead, I wasn't worried anymore. Facing this self-destructive woman, I asked when she planned to move out of the marital home, but she seized the initiative. Saw it, didn't you? Michael Lee. Hurts, doesn't it? I'm leaving. James Tran is much better than you in bed. Her tone carried a malice I'd never heard. making my whole body freeze. But I didn't want her to see any emotion. I gritted my teeth and said coldly, leave some dignity for yourself. I know some people now, especially women. When emotions go wrong, they go all out. Then use depravity as an excuse, blaming men for abandoning them. This logic is unbelievable, but many women are so stubborn. No matter what, someone who uses depravity as an excuse is even less forgivable. Love yourself, then others will love you. The first time Wendy Wong and I were intimate, she loved me deeply, prepared everything, like performing a sacred ritual. Seeing her shy in my arms, calling me husband for the first time, that feeling of happiness, that sense of responsibility and possession exploded, like winning the jackpot. And it was these feelings that urged me to do everything well, fearing any mistake would hurt her. I'm not old-fashioned, but in this matter, I always took respecting Wendy Wong as the premise. I didn't expect her to destroy herself like this. So foolish. I said quietly, congratulations. You got your wish. Seeing Wendy Wong become arrogant again, it seemed her regret these past months was just a joke. The lock was opened. James Tran came in with luggage. Seeing me, his face instantly smug, his eyes defiant, like claiming ownership. I only felt a surge of discomfort in my chest. Despicable jerk. James Tran hesitated, sneered, old brother-in-law still here. Want to stay for dinner? Saying that, he hugged and kissed Wendy Wong, emphasizing old brother-in-law. A moment later, Wendy Wong said, is he worthy? I looked at them silently. This posture was to steal my nest. Then James Tran picked up the keys, twirling them. Darling, when are we changing the lock? Don't want to see this annoying guy anymore. My eyes swept over, seeing he already had the house keys. My rationality collapsed. Wendy Wong slightly raised her brow, smiled arrogantly. Got it. I'll call a locksmith later. What's there to be jealous about? They chatted sweetly in the living room, every word, every glance full of tenderness. In that moment, I realized I was the clown. Maybe before I thought Wendy Wong had come to her senses, just self-deception. In fact, this was her true face after dropping the mask. Nothing but provocation to let me know my agonizing pain these days was just a surprise in their broken mirror mended game. In that moment, I clearly felt used, not wanting to waste even a second with this couple. I gritted my teeth and said, this house seems to be the marital home my parents prepared. Wendy Wong smiled lightly before me. Isn't your place here? What do you take me for? This house is at least half mine. Without 500,000, don't think you can easily kick me out. The atmosphere fell into deadly silence. My teeth ground together. This woman was shameless enough to erase even the last beautiful memories. Old brother-in-law, don't be so immoral. James Tran crossed his arms and walked up to me. He recklessly patted my shoulder. If it were me, I'd transfer this house to Wendy Wong. How about this? You name a price. At worst, we take a loss. Buy this house from you. You know already. Yesterday, Wendy Wong and I cleared all misunderstandings in bed, saying that. He glanced at Wendy Wong, smirking. After all, I was her first man. It's normal she can't forget me. Being your substitute for 3 years must have been tough. I couldn't hold back and punched him. This fight was inevitable. I could ignore how Wendy Wong treated me, could forgive myself for loving the wrong person, but I couldn't accept being toyed with. And James Tran being so smug. I'd rather die than be humiliated. Before, I gave up my pride, personality, stubbornness, just because I couldn't let go of someone. Now I understood. The person I gave up everything to love could never walk with me to the end. Some things were wrong from the start. The fight was fierce, more accurately brutal. James Tran got several teeth knocked out. I wasn't much better. A broken rib. In the end, both families went to the police station. I don't know how they talked. My parents paid $200,000 to compensate Wendy Wong. Then it was settled. I felt it was so fake. And my and Wendy Wong's friends started having different opinions. Some said Wendy Wong was shameless. Some said I ruined others' lives to stingy. Amid those discussions, I lay in the hospital bed, deleting those bad friends, while thinking carefully. Why did Wendy Wong insist on going this far? Was it unwillingness, regret, or a counterattack? Her pleas before? I couldn't guess, but perhaps only by breaking both sides like this would she feel there was no way back and not regret anymore. What's next? The hospital room door opened. It was Lily Lee. I said with difficulty, first find a suitable place to live. Wendy Wang's intention is, give them a month to prepare, then do the paperwork. How about this? I have an empty house. Anyway, you know my work is insanely busy. I sized up the girl before me. Didn't expect her to step in now. Lily Lee graduated from medical school. Speaking of which, I met her because she was Wendy Wang's best friend. She never took sides. Just knowing I don't eat cilantro was enough. Every time James Tran appeared, she'd immediately criticize and tell Wendy Wang this ambiguity was a hidden danger. I wanted to thank her many times, but because she's a woman, I chose to be straightforward. Now, I used my pitiful, dazed state to speak openly. Don't you think I went too far? No, I think you were right, Lily Lee said seriously. She was always like that, saying what she thought. Forgot to tell you, Wendy Wang and I stopped being friends. I forced a smile. It hurt. I agreed to Lily Lee's offer and went to her house. Didn't expect the house opposite was hers too, though the fight made me rest for 2 months. My heart was dead, so no regrets. My whole being felt reborn. But after getting steel pins, the anesthetics side effects lingered. After taking anti-inflammatory drugs, I was groggy, a cool sensation on my forehead. Someone seemed to be caring for me. At first, I thought it was my mom, who insisted on staying to care for me. When I woke, I smelled fragrant pork knuckle soup in the kitchen. My body no longer hurt as much. I listened to birds chirping outside for a while. Picked up my phone, dozens of messages and missed calls from colleagues, friends, and of course nosy people. Someone sent me a screenshot of Wendy Wang's social media post, rubbing ointment on James Tran. Caption, "You're my supreme treasure." No wonder a few days ago I invited her to a movie. This woman refused without hesitation. So it wasn't that she didn't want to go. I wasn't worthy. I posted on social media, if anyone sends me messages about this person again, don't blame me for cutting ties. I lifted the blanket and tittied myself. Saw Lily Lee in the kitchen. Seeing me, she said, "Your mom made it." She went to the market. Told me to make sure you drink it hot when you wake. She handed me a bowl. As I reached out, I yelped in pain. Lily Lee panicked. "Let me feed you." She used the gentlest motions. Helped me sit in the recliner and propped a pillow for me. Don't misunderstand, we learned this in med school. I watched her scoop soup into a bowl, let it cool a bit, touched it with her lips, checked the temperature, then fed me spoonful by spoonful. The first time a girl cared for me, my heart felt warm. And sour Wendy Wang never did this for me. When she wiped my mouth, our eyes met and froze. My heart skipped a beat. Michael Lee, your old brother-in-law, acting up again. Just then my mom walked in, breaking the silence. Son feeling better. Lily Lee stood up embarrassed and ran out. My heart warmed. Could it be? In life you really meet two people. One dazzles your time. One gently soothes your years. My mom cleaned up, but struggled with caring for Happy the cat. Not because she disliked it. Because Happy, this silly cat, was used to jumping into my arms and acting spoiled. Didn't expect it to see Lily Lee and obediently lie by her feet, rolling over. Lily Lee liked it too. Said, "Come on, let me give you a bath." My mom helped me lie down. "You've worked hard these years." I froze, saying nothing. Michael, when you gave Wendy Wang those limited edition shoes, she was just so-so. But when she gave you a toy, got to play in a circle, you were over the moon. Back then I saw you were too. My heart stung. Mom, don't say more. I just hope you learn from the past. How could I not understand her meaning? But Michael Lee could never be entirely at fault. Love gained by schemes I'd rather not have. I could lovely compromise for her, but I want do things that make me lose myself. To compete. Love gained by schemes I'd rather not have. I lay back on the bed, planning to delete everything about Wendy Wang, but saw her new social media post. She went to see a rare release of Journey to the West. one hand holding another. Caption: the first time I saw this movie was in the school cafeteria. Now watching the re-release, it's still you beside me. I looked at the tickets I'd booked on the cinema app. Suddenly recalled the lines I'd written. To love or not, is there a reason? To seek scriptures or not, is there a choice? Zixia, romantic and playful. Every frown, every smile full of affection. The one riding the auspicious cloud. If there's a moment of hesitation in your heart, it must mean I once stayed there. When I came to, my face was wet with tears. So heartbroken for myself, as if possessed. I typed countless words, thought for a while, then deleted them. Finally, with a bitter smile, sent just a question mark. But when message failed appeared, I snapped awake. To provoke me, she spared no means. This cruel tactic wasn't learned from Da-es and Wang Xiaofei. At that moment, Lily Li returned with Happy, set it down, and prepared to leave. My mom hurriedly stopped her. Lily, stay for dinner. Lily Li smiled and busy. My mom turned to me. Michael, ask Lily to stay. You're still friends, aren't you? My mom glared at me, eyes like fire, implying why so clueless. I looked at Lily Li and said the doctor said to listen to mom. She laughed. Fine. Let me wipe Happy's paws first. Lily Li wiped carefully. I once had a cat like this, but it got lost. Any markings? A spark of doubt rose in me. Lily Li casually answered yes. A black and white star-shaped mark on its neck. I laughed and told the owner, hoping it'd help me find my destiny. Saying that, she snapped back and looked at me. As if by telepathy, she suddenly lifted Happy's front leg. A heart-shaped birthmark appeared. I looked at her incredulous eyes, said I adopted Happy. She crouched down, hugging Happy tightly, then turned to me. Thank you. It really is fate. My mom nearby laughed happily. In the days after my fracture healed well, Lily Li, though busy, always made time for me. She also brought some news about Wendy Wong. Wendy Wong seemed to be pregnant. James Tran joined her company, acting like a boss, offending many people. Back in university, he wasn't an outstanding student. His popularity came from his ways, looks, and less tan in his tactics. I was still troubled by the 200,000 my parents gave. Why, when I did nothing wrong? Because of their shamelessness. Did my parents have to use their hard-earned money for my future? After much thought, I realized James Tran, after his divorce, seemed very depressed. If he had no issues with those shameless actions, he couldn't have returned empty-handed. His divorce wasn't simple. So while training my health, I had someone retrieve James Tran's divorce records. Lily Li often came to cook with my mom. Unexpectedly, a cold girl like her could cook so well. Especially her braised chicken, simply divine. My mom subtly pushed me to get closer to Lily Li, but I was hesitant. Even felt unworthy of such a good girl, always answering vaguely. Through Wendy Wong, I became more certain. Liking can be one-sided, but love needs to people's effort. If I pursued now, it'd seem too fast. So a month later, I brought Happy home. Wendy Wong was ridiculous. Even the TV I bought was smashed. But I no longer had any feelings. Strangely, Happy was like me. The moment it saw Wendy Wong, no reaction. Humans can suppress emotions, but cats shouldn't. Wendy Wong sensed this too. Looked at Happy stunned. Small animals can't speak, but sometimes they're more understanding than people. Wendy Wong softly asked, "Are you disappointed in me?" I didn't know what game she was playing. I shook my head before. I didn't want to see you. Now anything with your scent. I don't want. If listed that house for sale. No need for useless words. When I said this, I suddenly felt no weakness or humility. Wendy Wong wasn't angered by my words to leave. Instead, she seemed to want to speak but stopped, but ultimately chose to say nothing and left. I could sense she had a lot on her mind, but I didn't want to be involved with anything about her. Though I knew, because of James Tran, her parents had a big conflict with her. Most of her close friends cut ties. Even her company started having issues. Like the moment the door closed, that click signaled the repetition between us. Back and forth, advancing and retreating, had long reached numbness. When the heart numbs and breaks, everything becomes calm. She left. I forgot that fateful night. Lily Lee came to clean. This time, when she brought me a bowl of pork rib corn and chicken feet soup, she spoke Michael Lee. Come with me to the hospital tomorrow. The hospital needs a lawyer for consultation. I agreed without hesitation. Okay, didn't expect to meet Wendy Wong and James Tran there. Wendy Wong saw me, a flash of surprise in her eyes. Said nothing. James Tran smugly asked the doctor, last week you said to check and scan monthly. Is my wife pregnant? Is the baby healthy? Saying that, he looked at me, asking despite knowing, oh, isn't that an old acquaintance? Before, I'd have lost my cool. Even if I didn't act, I'd leave. But my heart had quietly healed. Even under Lily Lee's gentle care, gained a protective layer not easily stirred by words. I smiled calmly. Right. Very familiar. Congrats on your baby soon. After all, I raised this woman for you for 3 years. Now I return her intact. James Tran, with his shamelessness, often played games with Wendy Wong, making me furious, extremely uncomfortable. But now I'd built a wall-thick skin. I once thought the opposite of love was hate. Later, I thought it was not loving. Now it's forgetting. When I forgot the past, I no longer cared when talking to Wendy Wong. Otherwise, how could I be worthy of my lawyer status? A spark of anger flashed in his eyes, then returned to normal. Of course, we'll send you an invite. If you weren't useless, Wendy Wong and I wouldn't have today. I mocked, right, like a used pair of shoes. Stepped in dung, cleaned and worn out. You could call it limited edition. Just don't let it tear. Torn shoes, even limited edition if ruined, can only be thrown away. James Tran, provoked, stormed off. Finally dropped the act. Slammed the table. Whore, you calling torn shoes? I sneered at him. Because yesterday I got the investigation report. James Tran's divorce wasn't due to emotional cracks as he claimed, but because he wasn't well behaved abroad. Gambling, cheating, even drugs. His wife had sued. He basically fled back. Wendy Wong beside him finally spoke. Enough. No need to say more. There are other patients waiting. James Tran glared irritably, returned to his fake face. But when Lily Lee read the report, her face changed. Wendy Wong, this baby can't be kept. Her words were like a thunderbolt. James Tran slammed the table. What nonsense are you saying? Lily Lee wasn't scared. Mr. Tran, what you're hiding from Wendy Wong, don't you know? She handed the report to James Tran. I glanced, impressive. James Tran's face turned awkward, ignoring Wendy Wong. Lily Lee, you're talking nonsense. I got tested. He sweated coldly, hurriedly explained to Wendy Wong. Wendy Wong, I got infected abroad by accident. Trust me, I was just traveling, didn't disinfect properly. Lily Lee looked at him calmly. You're 27, and you tell me it was an accident, fooling ghosts. Wendy Wong pointed at James Tran, speechless for a while, finally threw her bag and medical file on the ground. I watched, stunned. I just wanted to let go of everything and never see this couple again. But suddenly, a dramatic turn. So Wendy Wong really became a pair of torn shoes. In that moment, I was utterly shocked, then felt a bit of glee. Seeing Wendy Wong's pathetic collapse now, I felt a bit of pity, though I no longer loved her. I knew Wendy Wong was an extremely proud woman. How could she bear such a huge humiliation? Sure enough, her eyes blazed. Her body trembled, speechless. While James Tran kept explaining, I really didn't know. It was that woman who cheated and infected me. I came back. I didn't know she was sick. It must be her, it's her. James Tran started rambling, clearly at a loss for what to do. He grabbed Wendy Wong's hand. Wendy Wong, trust me, let's not keep this baby. Let's start over. I couldn't hold back and exposed his lie. Mr. Tran, I can pull up your divorce records. Want me to print them for everyone? Then you'll lose everything. Wendy Wong immediately shook off his hand. You're lying. You planned everything from the start, didn't you? Got me drunk to sleep with me. Used my family and career to threaten me. Otherwise, how could I? Wendy Wong fall to being mocked like today, saying that she was so furious. She grabbed a surgical knife from Lily Lee and lunged. I quickly hugged her tightly, ignoring the pain in my barely healed wound. Yelled at James Tran, run already. You want a murder case? James Tran hesitated. Wendy Wang's rage was uncontrollable, thrashing wildly. She threw me off. The pain made me curse her. Thankfully, the only calm person there. Lily Lee stabilized the situation. She slapped Wendy Wang, glared no principles, breaking up and stooping this low, blaming others. I don't care how wronged you feel. Michael Lee just had surgery. Your madness makes his unhealed wound hurt. It'll kill you now. Wendy Wang collapsed to the ground, sobbing. After Lily Lee pulled her to the break room, Wendy Wang calmed a bit. Said Michael Lee, "This time I'm truly wrong." I sighed. Suddenly felt this woman was so foreign. She spoke "I'm sorry." This time sincerely, because I saw despair in her eyes. I froze. Felt nothing. Since I realized I loved Wendy Wang deeply and found her inconstancy, I chose to leave decisively, no longer caring about the consequences. Wendy Wang's later actions just refused to keep the last shred of dignity. Now I didn't need those 3 words, even if Wendy Wang owed me. So I asked coldly, why say that? Wendy Wang didn't expect I'd be so cold talking to herself. After I got with James Tran, at first I thought I was spiting you, doing what I wanted, playing games, watching movies, drinking milk to eating barbecue, my portions the same, sometimes even more. I didn't think you drank to drown your sorrows. My clothes were the same. Never thought of wasting. Still eating, playing, sleeping, working. I laughed, sounds like you're living well. To quote poetry, still smiling at clouds passing by. Still drunk, seeing plum blossoms. Her eyes red and no. That weekend, James Tran and I went to the supermarket for supplies, carrying 3 bags. I suddenly realized unconsciously, the one who'd take them from me, not wanting me to suffer. That naive person who'd hug me regardless of the setting was gone. Though I tried to act indifferent, my body's memories lingered. She suddenly grabbed my hand, forgive me. The warmth from her palm was familiar. The familiar Wendy Wang. This moment I'd waited for so long, but now I didn't need it. I immediately tried to pull away, but she held tight, refusing to let go. Lily Lee walked in. Seeing this, she said you two made up, saying that she was a bit awkward. After all, the barrier between us hadn't broken. She turned to leave, taking the chance. I yanked my hand free. Seeing Wendy Wang still clinging, I shouted, "Wendy Wang, I was just doing a friend's duty. If you'd stabbed him, it'd be a murder case. So don't misunderstand that I still have you in my heart. James Tran ruined half your life, but I can't watch you ruin the rest." Wendy Wang argued, "But now I only have you." I shook my head. What's the hardest thing to get in this world? Picking stars with bare hands, loving without return. In a world of millions, meeting me again is hard. I didn't understand before, but now I do. I didn't get it before. You want meet me again, it's all faded. I saw the light in Wendy Wang's eyes fade. Gradually she calmed. Finally, only coldness remained. I continued, I know you to watch Journey to the West. Right, the first time is romantic, the second time you laugh. The third time you cry. I don't know James Tran's character, but is my character like Zixia's? Zixia knew Supreme Treasure was her dream man, but she knew he sought the Moonlight Treasure for Bai Jingjing. She chose to let go. You still have James Tran in your heart. You could attack me for him. In that moment, I let go of Wendy Wang too. From start to end, I didn't look back. Wendy Wang's eyes were full of despair. I stood up and said my final words, tell James Tran for me. He said, broken mirror mended. But now I tell him, a mended mirror can only be patched, not restored. There will be a crack for the next time to shatter worse. When I walked out, I didn't look back. Everything was finally over. When I returned to Lily Lee's place, she showed no expression, seemed angry. After finishing work, she looked up. Do you still love Wendy Wang? I said no. She huffed. Then why did you hold her back so hard? Weren't you afraid of the knife? I suddenly realized Lily Lee was jealous. Sure enough, when I didn't answer, she pressed on. Why go with her? Why let her hug you? Just because she was deceived. Have you forgotten how she betrayed you? I didn't know how to respond. Just felt a usually calm Lily Lee was so domineering, but unexpectedly cute. I teased her on purpose. So I'm not trustworthy anymore. Didn't expect this to make Lily Lee so mad she stood up. Her small face flushed. Said to me, "You're really." She sat back down, annoyed. "Fine. Michael Lee Yurley is the stupid in stupidity." Then walked out. As she passed me, she said, "I won't come to your place tomorrow. We both need to calm down." I went home without eating. Sat on the bed looking at the tulips on the balcony. I suddenly remembered. Wendy Wong and Lily Lee had different attitudes toward flowers. Wendy Wong would buy a ready-made bouquet, while Lily Lee carefully chose one flower. If it wilted, she'd throw it out. Lily Lee carefully nurtured it for herself. I suddenly got angry. Liking and loving are different. If you like a flower, you pick it, but if you love a flower, you water it. In this moment, I was sure Lily Lee loved me, but I couldn't find the words. I didn't know how to confess to Lily Lee tomorrow. Really couldn't think. I called my mom. She picked up and said bluntly, "She won't see you, but won't she see a patient?" Useless. To chase a girl, you need thick skin. Right, smart. So I hurriedly grabbed my medical file, flipped through it by chance. Unexpectedly found a big secret. During the time Lily Lee cared for me, I'd almost deciphered her messy handwriting. In the medical file, for the 3 days she stayed with me, she wrote 3 entries. Day 1, she wrote, "The first time I saw you, you were fireworks. I was ashes. It takes a lifetime to clean a new house. It takes a lifetime to clear ashes." Day 2, she wrote, "Not 3 parts water, 7 parts dust, but 3 parts of the world has only 3 parts moonlight." Day 3, she wrote, "The day I wanted to confess, you brought flowers for her. I'm not sad. I just want to quietly see you happy." My heart froze. Then a sweet feeling surged. She was loyal, steady, gently cared for me without fanfare. Her actions slightly ambiguous, but not overboard. Every move had a reasonable reason. So I understood myself. Why I had to tomorrow have a bond, a lingering, an inexplicable care, and my body, unconsciously drawn to her side. I carefully dressed up. Wore a flashy pink suit. I timed it and brought some things for a checkup. When it was my turn, she didn't look up. I didn't speak until she couldn't hold back and looked up, only to find me in a garish outfit. Lily Lee got mad. "Why are you dressed like that?" Dressed how? I glared at her. I just wanted to test if I still have market value. I took off the jacket, the inside even wilder. A thin shirt. She grabbed a blanket to cover me. I pushed it away, pointed at the medical file, and asked, "What do these mean?" She resisted. "Just medicine." I laughed. "Medicine? Then go with me to the pharmacy now." Lily Lee was flustered. "After work, can we talk at home?" I didn't give her a chance to breathe. "Wait for you to get off. Didn't you say you won't come back? You kicking me out today?" "No need to say more, Lily Lee. I'm your patient, aren't I?" I propped my feet up, chewed gum like a thug. "Speak, what's it mean?" Lily Lee had probably never seen me so bold. Turned docile like a child. "Do I have to say? Didn't I write it down?" "I don't understand." "Read it aloud." I nodded. And this little girl really read it aloud. But halfway I blushed. Didn't expect a good girl could read so loudly. I quickly interrupted. "When did you start liking me?" "From the first glance. Back then you said, 'I only like big-chested, brainless girls.'" She laughed. "You're the brainless one. Big-chested is me. My delay gave you and Wendy Wong a chance. Sorry for almost missing you." I tapped her nose. "Mom said you shouldn't miss 2 things. The last bus home and someone who loves you deeply. The bus is you, the person is you." "Right," Lily Lee said. "Right." I locked the clinic door from inside. Left her there. I didn't care. Couldn't resist kissing her. Later, Wendy Wong's company had issues. She sold it and went traveling abroad. James Tran was put in jail by her own hand. The charges were heavy, at least 10 years. Lily Lee and I met our parents and registered our marriage. That day, I received a gift box and a bank card. Inside was a ring, engraved with H&T. The card had 200,000. I froze for a moment, smiled, gave the card to Lily Lee, turned and threw the ring into the city moat.